What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down the best gym lifts that you guys can do and diet tips to help you gain weight. So I hope this video helps you guys out. Hope it can teach you a few new things. But also, fellas, if you are a wide receiver or a quarterback and would like to train with us this off season, we are going to be traveling out to 13 more states across the country for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camps. This weekend, we are going to be coming out to Phoenix, Arizona, then Charlotte, Dallas, the DMV, St. Louis, Honolulu, Boston, Cleveland, Austin, Seattle, Newark, Denver, and Los Angeles, California. So if you guys are local to one of those cities, would like to get some work in with us for 2 whole days of training, 8 hours over the course of the whole weekend, check out that very first link in the description below where you can get more info and learn how to sign up. Let's get started with this video. So now this is one of the most highly criticized exercises, but maybe one of the best exercises to put on weight, to put on size, and that is bench press. Now, bench press this is something that's done at the NFL Combine. I really don't know why, to be honest with you, because I think bench press is great because it's a bodybuilding exercise. It helps you put on size, but there is really honestly not much athletic benefit to this for a skill position player, right? So this is DK Metcalf, and honestly, I think he ends up doing like 27 reps at 225, which is absolutely ridiculous for a wide receiver. But like, does that really mean anything, right? Does that really help him with anything? He's pretty much just showing off. He's showing people how strong he is. He's showing scouts how strong he is. But at the end of the day, that doesn't really do much for you as a receiver perspective, right? If you're talking about technique, you're talking about route running, you're talking about all those things, blocking comes from your hips and comes from your legs. They should honestly have these guys do squats, but I think too many people would get hurt trying to do too much. So they do this bench press thing. I really still don't even know why. However, this video is about gaining weight, right? Bench press is a great way to put on size with your upper body. Now, reason why I showcase this and reason why I show DK Metcalf doing this exercise, because I guarantee you in the offseason, this probably isn't a huge focus of his. A huge focus of his is not getting a bigger chest. He's already big enough. His focus is probably explosiveness, being able to get faster, builds one-legged stability, hip flexibility, all those things that will tie into on-field performance. Now, if you're sitting there and you're a high school guy, a youth wide receiver, and you've been told that you need to gain weight. Obviously, you can't just say, oh, screw that, I'm just going to focus on my speed and my quickness. However, that is still very, very important. And we're going to give you some exercises at the end of this that you can do while doing exercises that will put on size that will still help you maintain that speed and that quickness while putting on weight. So, like I said, I showcase this because bench press is something that you probably have to do. If you need to put on size with your upper body, bench is a great way to do that. That's the first exercise that we are going to discuss today. Now, does it have any athletic benefit? No. I think a better exercise to help with weight gain is squats. So squats, obviously, I think a lot of younger athletes, wide receivers, quarterbacks, that's the majority of this channel. And if you're a quarterback listening to this, that bench press thing does not apply to you. Quarterbacks should never do bench press. That is probably the worst thing for their shoulder. And you as a quarterback, if you need to gain weight, you should be solely focused on gaining weight with your lower body and with your backside. Your upper body, your chest, your shoulders, your arms need to be completely loose and have range of motion. If you get super bulked up because you're doing a bunch of heavy overhead lifts, heavy bench press, you're going to decrease your range of motion, and that's going to make your throwing mechanics a lot worse. So focus on these next 2 exercises that we're going to show you. And that first one is squats. So squats is obviously a great exercise to build up your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads, pretty much everything below the waist, which is incredibly important if you are a football player. Now, not only will you be able to pack on some size by getting your legs stronger, doing heavier squats, building up those muscles, but it's also going to help you with breaking tackles. It's also going to help you with balance. Like, let's say, for example, you're a wide receiver, and let's say you're running like a post route. Having strong legs allows you to make a hard cut because you have more stability. You have more strength. You're able to absorb more force from the ground with a strong lower half and with a strong base. Now, same thing for QBs. How are you able to generate more power into your throws? Having strong legs. So many quarterbacks have weak legs that they can't even get into their base properly. Their knees cave inward. It looks like, and if they're going to make a hard cut, that their ACL is going to snap. Fellas, if you guys want to be safer on the football field, you guys are going to be able to break tackles, you guys want to make harder cuts, you got to strengthen your lower half. Not only, like I said, will it help you with weight gain, it will also help you performance-wise, okay? So squats are a great thing to add to your routine. On every single leg day, you shouldn't be doing leg extensions, hamstring curls. Yeah, those are good, whatever. Get in that squat rack. I know it sucks, but squats are one of the most beneficial things you can do to build size with your lower half. Now, one of the things that a lot of guys will do when they're trying to, and again, you got to find that happy balance. And that's what we're going to talk about towards the tail end of this video. Some different exercises you can do to maintain your speed while putting on size. But a lot of guys, when they try to lift like bodybuilders, I would say, because it's a bodybuilder's trying to do, they're trying to get bigger, put on more mass, look good in the mirror. Let's put it that way. When you're trying to get bigger, a lot of times guys will hurt themselves. They'll be lifting a ton of weight. They're trying to build size, trying to lift heavier, and they'll end up injuring themselves, which will only set them back. Now, this is a kind of a form of exercise. This is called a deadlift. This is called a trap bar deadlift. This is mainly for your lower half, for your glutes, hamstrings. It also can work on your lower back. Now, I think, honestly, the back is a great spot for a lot of athletes to build on size. I think so many athletes lack a strong back, whether that's their upper back, their lats, their lower back. And I think you have a lot of room for growth with your backside. I think so many guys neglect it. They want to do abs, they want to do chest, arms, all this stuff that makes them look good, but not the stuff that gets you paid. And legs and your backside is what is going to get you paid. So this is a great exercise that's safe to work on your lower back, but also still activate that lower body. So this is a trap bar deadlift. You would need a trap bar for this. Most gyms have this, but you could it's just better for your legs, I would say. It's not so much stress on your lower back. Sometimes when you do a straight bar deadlift and your hands are in front, that puts a lot of stress on that lower back. And if you injure like a sciatic nerve, you strain something in your lower back, that can put you out of commission for a lot of things. On the field stuff and in the gym stuff, which is only going to make you a worse athlete. So yes, we want to put on weight. Yes, we have to lift heavier to put on weight, but you got to make sure we are doing it safely. Okay, so trap bar deadlifts is another great exercise. Strengthen and build size in that lower back, your legs. And then if you guys wanted to do exercises like different, like barbell rows, cable rows, something like that to build up your upper back, that would also be highly beneficial. But make sure you are working your back. You are not neglecting your back when you're training. Now, before we get into those explosive exercises that you guys can do, or probably going to give you about 4 to 5 different explosive exercises, I want to talk to you a little bit about the diet. So when it comes to gaining weight, you could do all the things correctly in the gym, but if you're not eating, you're not going to get any value out of the things in the gym, and if you're not consuming protein. So a lot of times as athletes, you're doing 2 workouts a day probably, right? Like especially this time of year in the spring, you're going to be, doing field practice, and then you're going to be lifting, then field practice, lifting, then running, especially if you're like a 2-sport type guy. So your body is consistently broken down. The only way for your muscles to grow is to recover properly. Now you might ask me, well, I can't work out and then take 1 day off, then work out again, only work out 3 times a week. That's not enough work. I'm not getting better like that. And I completely agree. I was that way as well. I was that guy who always had to be doing something, or else I felt like I was doing nothing. But I wish I would have taken my recovery more seriously, as I probably would have been a bigger athlete going into my senior year. So, main thing is, you have to eat and you got to consume protein. Protein is how you repair those micro tears in your body. Doing this like trap bar deadlift, for example, you're getting all kinds of micro tears in your legs, right? That's just what working out is. Everybody gets that when working out. But protein will help you repair those micro tears. So a good gauge, something that I saw a lot of success with, was I would try to consume 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So let's say I weigh 120 pounds, right? I'm trying to consume 120 grams of protein, maybe 110, if you will, if you're going to shoot low, like 100 to 120. That's a good protein range to help you recover, but to also help you aid in that weight gaining process, okay? Now, when it comes to calories, when it comes to just eating, all of that's varied. I would highly recommend you guys invest in some kind of calorie calculator, something that can track how many calories you're burning during your workouts, because you got to make sure that you're always in a calorie surplus. And that means that you're consuming more than you burn. So I would honestly seriously consider making an investment. And so there are a bunch of free apps that'll tell you how many calories you need to intake based on your height and weight and goal weight. There's a million different apps. But I would suggest investing in something that'll tell you how many calories you burn throughout each workout. Okay, so now let's talk about the different explosive exercises. So this is Saquon Barkley, arguably one of the most built guys in the game and one of the most explosive guys in the game. So this is him at Penn State, and he's doing an exercise called a power clean. So this is a popular football exercise, this power clean, right? This power clean is something that you see probably in all high school weight rooms, definitely all college weight rooms, because it directly translates to the field. Now, this is not an exercise that's going to help you get bigger. This is going to generate power from your legs, explosion from your hips, and build up those fast twitch muscle fibers, which all directly translate to on-field performance. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, coach, I don't need to do that. I need to get bigger. I'm already fast enough. You cannot neglect this type of exercise because trust me, fellas, when you put on a ton of weight, especially if you put on a ton of weight, you're eating a lot, maybe not eating the healthiest, you're going to feel like you're slowing down. You cannot neglect these types of exercises. You will not slow down if you don't stop activating your fast twitch muscle fibers. So power cleans, any kind of Olympic lift would be great. Something called like a clean and jerk where you clean the weight and then you press it over your head. Don't recommend that for quarterbacks, obviously. I recommend more so power cleans for quarterbacks and, maybe like a light dumbbell snatch or the next exercises we're going to be talking about, and that is any kind of plyometric training. So this is Tyreek Hill, obviously, again, arguably one of the most explosive athletes there is. Now, I did a camp with Tyreek Hill at one point, maybe about 2 or 3 years ago in Irvine, California. And this dude has got probably the biggest legs you will ever see in person. Upper body-wise, not that big. Like probably not like the size of a regular high school wide receiver from the waist up. But like I was saying in the very beginning of this video, all of his weight, because I think he's 200 pounds, I want to say. He didn't look 200 pounds from the waist up, but lower body-wise, that guy looked 200 pounds. He had so much power, so much explosion, so much size in his legs. And like I said, fellas, that's where a lot of room for growth is, especially in wide receivers. You guys want to make explosive cuts? You guys want to be able to absorb force? That's what you need to be able to work on. Build up size in your legs. But again, here's another example of this. This exercise right here, as long as you're in a calorie surplus, this is not going to cause you to lose weight. It's not going to be a form of cardio. It could definitely get you breathing hard, but it's to work on that fast twitch explosion. So he's simply falling off a box, broad jump, and then into a box jump. All three of those movements are very explosive, very fast twitch, and that directly translates to you giving that all-out effort on the field. Those exercises aren't going to make us look good with my shirt off. That's not going to get me any bigger, but it will make me a better football player. And I assume that is what all of you are trying to get out of this. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. Always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you would like to come out to one of our 13 off-season training camps we are hosting this year, check out that very first link in the description below where you can get all the info and more information on how to sign up. I'll see you guys next time.